I got hit during the battle for Mareth. I stopped an 88mm fragment with my shoulder. Never felt a thing at the time. Bet the news gave me wife a turn, though.
A man's been wounded. What happened? Was he badly hurt? Did he get help quickly? A battle is exciting enough when you read about it in the newspaper. But to a lot of us, it may mean this. To the medical officer on a fighting front, it means just about the same. To him, the battle is a problem to which he's got to find an answer. And the solution comes out in terms of men's lives. On the narrow battlefronts of today, a whole army corps of 60,000 men may be engaged in an area only 10 miles wide and 30 deep. Any of those men may become a casualty, who must be treated at once and evacuated as soon as possible from the field. Machines are expendable, men are not. And every man must feel that he's being backed by the finest and most efficient medical services that we can provide. And it isn't only a matter of numbers. The medical services have got to be able to deal with the fast-moving complexity of a modern battle. In war, you don't send for the doctor. He's got to be there all the time. So his most vital need is mobility. Every forward medical unit moves on its own wheels. Field ambulances, field dressing stations, surgical units, transfusion units, each one able to go wherever the soldiers go, equipped to give every sort of medical attention or carry out life-saving operations well within the fighting zone. These are the tools for the job. Now let's see them in action. We are right forward in the fighting area. Wounded men lie where they fall. The stretcher bearers find them, give first aid. Stretcher bearers are the first-line medical groups. Here you can see them training to bring back the wounded wherever they may find them. Thousands of men owe their lives to their devoted work. The wounded come in by every form of transport that a unit can think up, by carrier, mule, stretcher, to the regimental aid post. Wounded men receive skilled dressing here at the hands of their own medical officer. The regimental aid post acts as a buffer that takes the first shock of battle. The ambulances ply to and fro in this forward area, bringing men into the advanced dressing station. Here come all wounded. Radiating from it are all the services that wounded men need.
Right, take them over there, Clark. Stretch it this way. Over there, sir, please.
Hear us here. What have we here, Staff?
Flesh wound in the thigh, sir. Think it's a bullet.
No, it's a mortar fragment, sir.
Well, you should know.
Yes, sir.
Probe. Just bend a knee, old man. All right. Group 3. Clean dressing. We'll have an easy ride, old chap.
Look like a bullet wound to me.
No. Our gun got knocked out.
Oh. Very lucky then.
Yes.
Wounded men are classified into 3 groups. 3/4 of all cases are in Group 3, those which can be sent to the rear for treatment. Group 2 are urgent cases which must be operated on within a few hours. And Group 1 are collapsed patients too badly wounded to stand a journey or in danger of death unless revived at once. The whole system of evacuation depends on the right classifying of casualties, and a great responsibility bears on the officer who has to do it.
Shock case, just come in, sir. Right. He's very badly shocked. He'll need a transfusion. Go easy. May have a fractured pelvis.
The new field dressing station is the main center of resuscitation in the forward areas. Like every medical unit, it's equipped to carry out the new life-saving technique of blood transfusion.
Blood.
Shock, blast, burning, loss of blood, which cost the lives of so many in the last war, is now a terror of the past. Whole blood or plasma, possibly drawn months ago from civilians in England, is helping to bring a new lease of life to many wounded soldiers. The imperative need of the wounded man is for immediate treatment and rest until he is sufficiently recovered to make the next move. The field dressing station answers this need within sound of the enemy guns. An urgent operation, but the wounded man can stand the journey to an advanced surgical center. This is the second vital point in the medical network. Here, the surgeon is king.
This surgical team is a field unit of the Royal Army Medical Corps, working in what is known as an advanced surgical center. This case is typical of the sort of casualty which comes to us for treatment. He is severely wounded and would not stand up to a long journey back to base hospital with much chance of being alive at the end of it. or at best, he'd be in such bad shape that his recovery would be long and painful, and might leave him permanently crippled or invalid. In the last great war, he'd have been lucky to get through. In this war, we can say with confidence, not only that he's going to live, but that he's going to be perfectly fit again. That is a claim which the medical services are able to make on their experiences during the last 4 years. When I think of some typical casualties, say at Mons in the last war, drained of blood, suffering from shock and the exhaustion of a long, painful journey to base, with serious infection already well established in his wound, septicemia, gas gangrene and all the rest of it, and then compare him with his counterpart today, it may seem that something like a miracle has happened. But like all modern miracles, it has come about through experience and research. In the last 10 years, many things have happened which have changed the whole picture of war. When the patient comes to us, he has been treated for shock, which used to kill so many men. His wounds have been cleanly dressed. Infection has been arrested by the use of the sulfonamide drugs. He is not exhausted by a long journey and needless pain. He has come to us in time. We can do the rest.
That's the story of treatment in the forward areas. Surgery and nursing have been brought right up to the front line. The seriously wounded are treated within a few miles of where they were injured, but the great bulk of casualties are evacuated at once to the rear. The casualty clearing station is the rendezvous for all types of wounded. Here, the serious cases in groups 1 and 2, which have already been treated and nursed, meet the slightly wounded and sick who have come here straight from the front. Like the others, they receive the benefit of modern surgical technique, radiography, the plaster fixation of fractures. The nurses appear on the scene. They may go further forward with the advanced units as the battle rolls on, and in Libya they were to be seen in advanced dressing stations close to the front. Many will be returned from the casualty clearing station fit for duty. The others will be evacuated to the base hospital for further treatment or as the first stage on the way home. Air ambulances are now in extensive use. 12,000 men were evacuated from Tunisia alone by air. So to the ship and home. But setting foot again on Blighty shore isn't the end of the story. The returning soldier may be suffering from the physical and mental after effects of his wound. Against the slow reaction that might turn a man into a permanent C3, the Army provides convalescence and rehabilitation. That's a long word for a simple but all-important thing. It means, in every sense, getting a man on his feet again. Scarred muscles that have fallen into disuse are loosened and toned up. Even where a man has lost a leg or an arm, he can still look forward to becoming a useful and consequently happy member of society once again. The whole emphasis in rehabilitation is on what a man does for himself. It's not surprising that after months of being in hospital, undergoing special treatments and slowly recovering from serious injuries, a man can get into the set habit of being an invalid. But this is as much a state of mind as anything else. The modern treatment is to get a man to believe in himself again. Carefully graded exercises help him to relearn the use of his body. He stops being an invalid to whom things are done. By his own will and effort, he gets back to a sense of fitness and the joy of living. These men you see here are expressive of the true success of the medical services, which is measured by the great proportion of men in this war who are being brought back to complete health through prompt and efficient treatment on the field of battle. That is the task the Royal Army Medical Corps set itself to do, and that is what it has done, to make the wounded man fit again and give him a real chance of life and happiness in the days to come.